Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea. This hidden strength that doesn't come from reacting to the world, but from actually mastering our own mind. You know, it's a skill that can literally change everything.
So, let me just ask you this straight up. Who really has the remote control to your emotions? Is it your boss, some stranger in traffic, or is it you? It seems like a simple question, but trust me, the answer goes surprisingly deep. To really get to the heart of this, let's follow a story about a young man named Ali. He's a hard worker, living in a pretty stressful city, just trying to build a better life. I think it's a situation a lot of us can probably relate to.
Our story kicks off on one of those particularly rough days. A day when all that pressure finally just boiled over and became too much for Ali to handle.
So here's the trigger. His boss, a Mr. Tariq, just calls him out right there in front of the entire office. And the absolute worst part? It was for something Ali didn't even do. You can imagine the sheer injustice of it all just cut him deep.
And this is what's so interesting, right? There's this total disconnect between his outside and his inside. On the surface, Ali doesn't say a word. But internally, oh, it's a completely different story. His fists are clenched, his face is red, and his mind is just this raging storm of anger and bitter thoughts that follow him the entire way home.
And this, right here, leads us to the central problem of the whole story. The real fight wasn't actually between Ali and his boss. Nope, the real fight was happening right inside Ali's own head.
This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look, on the left, you've got the situation. A few unfair words from a boss. It was just a single moment in time. But then, look at the right, the reaction. A mind completely swamped with bitterness, a whole evening ruined, and this deep, heavy feeling of defeat. The reaction was so much more damaging than the event itself.
So, and this is the key, his exhaustion didn't come from his job. It came from the brutal mental battle he was fighting against himself. He let his own thoughts completely drain him of every last bit of his energy.
Okay, so just as Ali is hitting this absolute low point, the story brings in a new character, one who holds the key to changing his whole perspective, his calm, very wise brother, Hamza.
Hamza shares this powerful metaphor with Ali. And just think about it for a second. When you're holding on to anger, who's the one feeling it the most? It's you, right? It's like this internal fire that just burns up your own peace long before it ever even touches the other person.
And here it is. This is probably the single most important lesson in this whole story. The second you let someone else's actions control your emotions, you've literally just handed them the keys to your inner world. You've given away your power.
Now, this piece of wisdom from his brother, it doesn't just stay as a nice idea. Ali starts to really get it, that he has a choice, not in what happens to him, but in how he responds.
So how does he do it? Well, he develops this super simple but incredibly effective method. Whenever he feels that anger starting to rise, he just finds a quiet moment, he centers himself by focusing only on his breath, and he just watches. He lets that inner storm of emotion pass right by without letting it sweep him away.
And this completely redefines what it means to be calm. See, it's not about being passive, it's not weakness, it's actually a form of wisdom. It's an active choice to be in control of yourself, even when you can't control the situation around you. That is real strength.
And get this new approach has actual real-world results. This timeline shows his whole transformation. He goes from being totally overwhelmed by anger to just a few weeks later, people start noticing his calm composure. And after a few months, that calm strength earns him genuine respect from everyone, including the very boss who wronged him.
So Ali's journey, it reveals this really profound lesson that applies to every single one of us. It basically redefines our whole idea of what it even means to be strong.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What's the moral of the story? True strength isn't about being the loudest person in the room or winning every single fight. It's about mastering your own mind. It's about staying calm when anger is screaming at you. It's about choosing peace over chaos and always, always controlling your response. That is where the real power is.
In the end, Ali puts it perfectly himself. He realizes that the feeling of inner peace is a way bigger prize than the tiny, temporary satisfaction of winning an argument, and that's the wisdom he earned on his journey.
And that, of course, brings us back to you. This story isn't really just about Ali. It's like a mirror for all of us. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own life, in the week ahead, where are you going to take back your power and choose peace over chaos?